Quantum Capitalist, for those, let's start off with, this is, we might know from Eat Trade Travel when we start this whole free thinker society thing. So this is sandbox energy right here. So one of the things that intrigued me once I found out that you're into investing like that, um the Eat Trade Travel was always something like that was a good goal. I always viewed as eating good, different places, traveling around, trading, using that as the foundation of everything. What made you, first off, what was your motivation or influence behind that name? And then what was the concept behind the change to Quantum Capitalist, which I like
So,
as well, equally, by the way.
so that's a great question, and I kind of want my moniker back because when I started,
You're funny.
and that's still my name on Instagram, by the way, as
How
my
much? Yeah,
personal
exactly.
page.
It's you, regardless. Exactly. I think it blends perfectly with quantum. I think it's like the foundation of quantum capitalism. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yep. So exactly, it's the foundation. When I first started trading stock options, and hold on, let me get the camera on. I feel like it's more personal when you can see me. But when I first started trading, that was what I was trading for. To be able to, I love
Mm,
to eat. So to be able to eat at whatever restaurants I wanted, on whatever continent I wanted, and to support that all by trading. And so that is the origin of the name. It is, hey sis, she been with me since like 2019 or something like that.
lessons, lessons. That's phenomenal. First of all, the bond is good. It's a beautiful thing to have that type of bond and relationship. But shout out to you with that great energy, Rainy. Am I saying your name right? Hope all is
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So that's still my goal. And so now that COVID is over and all of that, I just booked a flight to do a live training down in DC with another longtime friend and trading associate of mine this weekend. So if anybody's in the DC area, we will be having a meet and greet on Friday from 5 to 8. If you want more information, just shoot me a message. But to answer the rest of your question, when I came back to social media to teach again, I wanted to do it from a more professional place. I wanted to brand it as a what it actually is. So it was kind of like treated like a hobby before.
Hmm.
And I taught my friends and a bunch of people that we knew. But this time around, it is branded as a fintech publishing company. So anybody who doesn't know what fintech is, that is financial tech. So companies like SoFi, if you've heard of it, PayPal is a fintech company, but fintech publishing company. So I um, basically publish information about the financial markets for the benefit of others. And so one of the things that I'm going to start devoting some more time to is just that, writing more articles, producing more classes, and giving people who may not be experienced or may be intimidated by the markets different avenues into what I've experienced as an investor and trader. Sorry for the
No,
long answer.
no, that was perfect. Actually, that was profound, as the name is. Um, with quantum capitalism and my first time dealing with the concept of quantum um, quantum physics, the synergy there, as you're someone you're doing like the dirty work behind the scenes of getting all of the information, putting them into articles or blogs or however you're doing it, concept of fintech, and understanding that's in the name of Black History Month, we're talking about the different concepts of investing and how that really is the foundation of making ideas manifest into things that you can really visualize and infrastructure that can be used for the ages. So, in conclusion, I like that. Two things I want to say. First off, the E-Trade Travel, that's one of the things I want to bring up. I wanted to bring up naturally today too, as we always discuss, and we open a forum for anybody, but people who are beginners in investing, or shout out to you, Mark. Shout out to you, greetings from New Zealand forever. Um, but people who have different fears, like we speak about a few times, about investing in things of that nature. Some of the things, just like for instance, sports or any type of goal, really, to be honest. If somebody's into something, they're gonna do everything to train and work hard, research everything they can to get to what they're gonna get to. And with a concept like with the fintech, and you're giving them basically a firsthand view of things that they can start to learn on their own without having to search for it necessarily. Basically, giving them key factors, the key points. Of course, there's always people who's good. Is it on them to do extra research and things of that nature? But to start opening, giving those olive branches to those people who begin it. But the eat, trade, travel thing, like in conclusion, this is phenomenal for everybody who's beginning something to have a specific goal. If you're into if you're into sports, you're into basketball. The goal is, oh, I want to make it to. I'm in New York. I want to make it to Rutgers. I want to make it. I want to go play in this basketball. I want to play at St. John's. I want to go play professional. I want to make it to the Knicks. A goal, and that keeps you involved in investing your time, investing your energy to training right, investing into your diet, making sure you're eating right, investing into all these different things, making sure you're doing right in school so you don't get kicked out or anything like that. You're staying away from trouble. All of these things are investments. And then back to this again, when you have eat, trade, travel now, these things, I want to eat anywhere I want, all the best restaurants. I want to be able to trade on all different markets and all different realms of anything that I want. I want to day trade. I want to long-term trade. I want to build generational wealth. And I want to travel. I want to go visit around the world. I want to do all these things. These are my goals, and my foundation of investing into the actual stock market is the actual training that you're doing. I think that's phenomenal with that concept of eat, trade, travel. Oh wait, I think you should go to the regular. That's all that stuff coming into the in the comment section, not the private chat.
I figured it out.
Okay. Oh, I see now. You did put it. Yeah, much respect. That's hilarious. But yes, and then I'll say this too. The quantum capitalist thing, that's also doing that job of you're reaching others without actually having contact, or without actually having them ask questions. You know what the people who are in the beginning of this phase they're going to need. Knowing what people who long-term investing already, they're going to need some information as well. So covering all those fields of information with your fintech and everything that you're doing, that's phenomenal. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Of course, any questions, comments, concerns, put them up. Now, would you like to start? And shout out to Sikmaj. He's not here with us again right now. Like I said, anytime you see one of us is not here, it's a priority is being taken care of, and whoever else is going to be here is going to make sure they always hold it down. So we're going to be good regardless. But give us an idea now of any new upcoming news that's coming on within the stock market or trading in general. Shout out to She Cooks, She Roasts, always. Queen of Entertainment. I hope all is well with you, Queen. Much respect to you. What's for dinner today? But yes, any new news, anything upcoming people should be looking out for?
Let me share the link real quick and tag my other pages.
And I have a question of the day for everybody. We're going to be touching on this throughout the discussion today. The conversation right now seems to be between $2,000 to $5,000 is the discussion of giving as basically stimulus checks to American citizens. Like I said, those are filing taxes. Families get up to, I think 5,000, and individuals about 2,000 or 2,500, something of that nature. That's what's being discussed. It's not concrete yet at all. But my question of the day is, are you A, going to consider investing any of that money? And B, how much are you willing to consider investing into it? That's the question I want to ask about your Doge. And this is clearly from, if I didn't make that clear, from what's going on with Doge and USAID and all the other companies and organizations that were part of the said Viper's Nest. So what are we going to do with this money when it comes on? Are we going to just make it rain? Or are we going to make it rain still, but invest some? Or are anybody thinking about you so deep in the game that you consider investing all of it? What do you say? What do you
What
say?
is the viper's nest?
The viper's nest. So that's like a pit full of snakes that are venomous. And the concept of USAID is basically they're so corrupt, they were just a bunch of snakes. They
Oh,
seemed like
gosh.
they were out to give out aid to people and to help different countries around the world using taxpayers' dollars to show that America is, the country that is the strongest, most elite, and we're out to help everybody. And think about this. It actually would have been profound if they was really taking this money and doing these things. But when you think about it, I don't think Afghanistan is asking, I don't think they're asking for a Sesame Street. I don't think they're asking for that. I think if they're going to ask for anything else, it's going to be other humanitarian aid. So something was shaky about them anyway. So that's what he's saying. It was openly, the things that they're asking for was bizarre, and they weren't even actually doing those things. So saying you're giving Afghanistan $30 million, you're investing $30 million to make Afghanistan Sesame Street, but you didn't even do that. So it's like a double type of concept. So that's the concept in the viper's nest.
Okay. I just had not heard that terminology used before, but I'm on board with everything that you just described it as.
Right. And
So
shout out
I
to Elon
saw
Musk.
somebody say the other day, basically, we just gonna blow that $5,000. Not I.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that. That's the discussion. I heard it already too. That's why I'm bringing it up now. Exactly. It's already. Oh man, I got this booked already. I got people booking. But I will say, I love the energy people have, understanding that was the discussion and concept around the time when Trump was in last time, when the stimulus and all these, the PPP. And by the way, please make sure, if you're not aware, that that's something that they're still hunting people down for right now. They already got like the top dogs. Now they're going after lower level people who are just like in a couple of thousands. There were people in the millions who benefited from the PPP thing. But I'm just, with the word that they're going out with now is that as long as you are willing to work and paying it off, you should be good. But to run and avoid it is the problem. So that's just a little word for advice out for those. But shout out to She Cooks, She Rolls, fried chicken, okra, and peach cobbler. Oh, I must say, I for all these years I never tried peach cobbler, and I tasted for the first time peach cobbler. So shout out to you. I know you make it the best too. Shout out to She Cooks, She Rolls. I am good. Blessings to you both. Yes. Shout out to She Cooks, She Rolls.
So I'm interested to hear from the people with us watching if I've never got stimulus.
Wait, hold up. My fault. You got a little blurry and your audio just went out a little bit. Wait, hold up. Let me put you down, maybe. All right. Let me know. Wait, are you good now? Okay, it looks like it's not glitching anymore. Are you everything good?
Can you hear me?
Good, I hear you. Good.
Okay, so I wanted to ask the people who are watching, what if we do get this $5,000, what their plans are for the $5,000. I know that if I've never received the stimulus in all of this time, but if I did receive it, I know I'm going straight to the stock market, straight to the options market, because I know that I can turn that 5 into 15.
Yeah, shout out to Elon Musk, shout out to Doge, and of course, shout out to the big guy, the real big guy right now, Trump. But shout out to She Cooks, She Rolls. She's definitely not going to make it rain.
And it's right to do some, to do some self-care or spend 20% of it on fun or things that we need around the house.
Yes.
But man, the bulk of that money, I come from a background where you gotta have re-up money for real. And
see, so that's what I'm talking about. Exactly.
Flip that money before you start spending it.
Exactly. There's this allure for the kingpins and how that way, whether you was part of it or not. And if we're gonna really think about that and understand, they were invested into things. Well, on whatever level you were, it was investments happening and reading up and making sure, all right, I don't want to just blow this money. Make sure you're having fun. Like, gotta live life. That's why I said, are you going to make it rain a little or something? And when I say make it rain, I'm not saying just go to the strip club. I understand that that's a concept there, but however you're going to do it, have some fun with yourself, with whatever you like to do. But having something where you got something to fall back on so you can continue to make it rain, continue to have fun however you have. You don't want to just blow it all and not have nothing coming. And let's not forget the concept of making your money make money for you. That's a big dog in this whole situation. So we spoke about it. Free thinkers, shout out to the free thinkers. Really feel like it's coming. Everything indicates that this is going to happen, and this is going to be one of those big major shifts where even the people who are mad and against Trump, they're going to start, and Elon Musk and all this stuff, and those, they're going to start to realize, all right, this is beneficial. We're seeing the actual and feeling the actual benefits. Once prices of inflation prices drop down, start seeing these improvements, and it's just going to add on more to this. But let's not be like many people were when cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum, everything was making this major rise. There were some people who immediately, they just heard about it and they just put some money aside into it and let that do what it do. But there were a lot of people who thought it was just like, I'm not getting into that. That's just some new trend. Sometimes things happen like that. But for instance, XRP, that's not you hear it everywhere. It's not a trend. It is a trend, but this is something that actually has a lot of backing to it. And besides just, we'll go through it again. We'll go through the reading through it again today. And of course, Quantum Capitalist, anything you can add on to it. And I just must always shout out Quantum Capitalist, the first person who taught me about it. So that was the first time I researched it before hearing about it in the news, how it is right now. But a major
I want to say something really important about that $5,000 real quick.
We still on that. Thank you.
A huge part of it is they give you this money with the full expectation that you're going to take it and give it back to them. So I'm going to get them this $5,000 and they're going to boost Walmart share price and they're going to boost American Airlines and Spirit Airlines share prices. They've given you this money because they know that you're going to give it right back to them. If you choose to do that, then you are a part of the problem. And that's why they give you the money. They're not giving you the money because they care about you or because they want to lighten the load of inflation. They give it to you because they know they're going to get it right back.
Now we talking big picture thinking. Exactly. And this is the thing about executive orders, what Trump is doing. He could push something out, but there's still a machine that's running and operating things. And that, think about, when you just spoke about that Quantum Capitalist, it made me think about Dave Chappelle and the Chappelle Show when everybody races back and people driving Newport trucks. In that same concept, knowing that it would be people who want to try to buy Newport trucks, for instance, and buy Newport. Before giving it, the major people who are running this machine, before those reparations come out, they're investing in these companies, knowing that you're about to spend money and consume into these things. So that is right on the money. Shout out to that. And shout out to Rainey for investing in it. I'm on that same wavelength for you, Rainey. I love that. Let's go. More of that. We building a global Black Wall Street on our own, and that's exactly what happened during Black Wall Street. Shout out to O.W. Gurley. Shout out to McNabb. Shout out to everybody. All of that investment, the 240 acres of land that they bought over there. Then the 60 acres here, 40 acres here. Shout out to all that was going on. Don Johnson, I don't think we will see a change in prices. Not in the near future, I don't think, but eventually I'll predict, hopefully by the end of the year, there'll be a shift there with the prices. But yeah, I say for the first half of the year we're going to feel that friction of all these, not even the fact that tariffs have been a real issue, but just from that, the jump and the discussion of that and the potential, there's going to be residual effects automatically. So yes, I agree with you, Don Johnson. Shout out to Don Johnson forever though. I have some home repairs I like to make. Yeah, see, there we go. Make some home improvements. I like that. She cooks, she roasts. Yeah, take care of some things. You got to take care of yourself. The only concept here, just like I think what Sigmar said before too, is a great thing to think about. Just 10%. Stick 10%. Think of a number like that. All right, 10% of what I'm going to get with those. Are we going to get $5,000? I'm going to take $500 of that, and I'm going to invest into that. That's a nice load right there, especially if you're going to start off with or anything of that nature.
This
So
is my thinking around that is if I'm going to get $5,000 that I didn't expect it, I haven't counted anywhere in my budget, then I'm going to take 10 to 20% and I'm going to blow it. However that might be. If I need to fix something in the car, I'm going to fix that something in the car. If I want to do something in the house, I'm going to do something in the house. If I want to take a vacation, I'm going to do that with 20%. But then that other 80%, I never counted that. And so I'm going to act like it don't exist and I'm going to sit it somewhere in some investments. and my experience has been that you looking at in a year to 2 years, now you got $8,000 maybe, or 12,000, or some people have gotten lucky and that $4,000 turned into 100,000.
exactly.
But that's how I would handle it
I like that.
if I were gonna get that Doge money.
I like that concept too of keeping that in your mind. It's like gambling. It wasn't your money anyway. You just won all of this. You don't have to go thinking about just blowing it all. Make sure celebrate. Do something with a good percent. I like that. 10 to 20% should be put aside. And not should. This is just a concept here. And of course, it depends on what's going on, necessities. You literally might need to spend that whole thing on a priority. And of course, go take care of that. This is overall thinking. But yeah, I like that. I agree with that concept. Now, what do you did you have any you spoke about something else that you was going to add on to? I'm going to go you could pull up prepare anything, but I was going to pull up XRP, with XRP being in the discussion. We spoke about this last week, but what year was this? This was about 1893, I believe. 1893, where the stock market, there was a not a crash, but there was a economic deflation or drop because of the industries having to deal with changing to the muckrakers. Shout out to Ida Tarbell. Shout out to Nellie Bly. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to Lewis Hine. Upton Sinclair. All of them were pushing in the beginning of this early 90s. The point is, what happened is that the Rothschilds connected with JP Morgan, who was connected with Carnegie, the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, they took their gold out. This was the first time they took a major lump out. This is before what happened in the stock with 1929. And they basically held America in hostage with the financial. This is before America had a Federal Reserve. So taking their money out of these major industries where everything was backed by gold, the discussion of investing into silver was becoming a major thing just to get off of the economic stronghold that these families and bankers had. Long story short, the Federal Reserve is created because of this, using JP Morgan, who therefore said, as long as y'all make sure y'all take care of the Rockefellers, it's all right. Can do his oil thing in Ohio, let him do his thing in Jersey. These things were implemented and through the president, Grover Cleveland. And by 1998, everything got settled. And this is when the rise and the major stronghold of these monopolies really took place. But the concept of the gold being taken away, all of the gold wasn't necessarily brought back. It's been a back and forth throughout years. And yes, we spoke about it a lot of times on Free Thinkers Society, how the power of Fort Knox and the gold, that's been like more of a ghost town concept. For the first time in decades, major loads of gold are being shipped back to America. Not sure this is something we're going to speak about more into the tinfoil hat of what's going on behind the scenes. But this is a new wave of support that I feel like Trump is getting from people controlling and pushing buttons. And with that goal, this is why, if you've been paying attention to the economic forums, the discussion of XRP and the connection has been skyrocketing. So let me read some of these. But shout out to you, Quantum Capitalists. What are your thoughts on everything?
On the banking system? So everybody's on XRP, I guess, which to me is like the banking system.
Yes.
Okay, so the expectation, or I guess the theory that interested me in XRP, and I was just talking to somebody about this Friday, is that they will replace the Swift banking system. And what supports that theory for me is that they are, the last time I looked, contracted with like 270 something banks, and now states are signing up to use XRP. And Brazil was it? I don't know. Somebody just started. One of these countries just started the first XRP ETF. And so I think what tends to happen is we are always late. We're always the last people to believe. This is something that I said to Don the other day. Is like some things have to be seen to be believed, but wealth is the kind of thing that has to be believed to be seen. And so we won't believe that we should invest in XRP until it's out of our price range, until we can't afford to invest in it. Then we'll say, oh, that's actually a real thing. One of the other things that I learned recently, and people don't notice, I'm sure, I just spent a lot of time doing research, is that our government is paying. This is strange to me because of the whole NASA story, but in the moon, the first moon thing story is really strange to me. But NASA is paying somebody else, Uber, the Uber of space. Like, all right, company that I won't name, we need you to drop off some satellites and some this and that on the moon. And the company's like, all right, cool, we got you. It's going to cost you $77 million. We won't believe or pay attention to the fact that this is going on. And that's commerce. They're spending $77 million. Our government is paying this company $77 million every time they need to drop something off on the moon. What does that mean for that company? Number one, they locked in forever. You know, like you're always going to be receiving money that doesn't even exist, because if our government needs something, they can just print the money and pay you. And as long as you can go out there and spend it, you don't care that it's fake or fiat. And so this company is making $77 million a clip. To me, that means I need to invest in that company, because I can't invest in the government. I need to invest in that company, because do I think that they're going to stop going to space? Hell no. They just going to get better at it and do it more frequently. The company also offers, listen, MME, you could go to space. They'll take you if you can afford it.
Right. I heard about this, right?
And so those are the kinds of things that the Quantum Capitalist publishes. You have to follow me and be in my network to know the name of that company. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm researching and providing information to on the public for those that have an interest in a company that costs less than $20 a share. But it's taking our government to the moon for $77 million. That's when you want to invest, not when it's $777 a share and they're talking about it like they talk about NVIDIA now that they can't hide it.
Exactly. Great point. Great point.
So I get preachy sometimes about this stuff. So
that's what we're here for. And it's a Sunday. All blessings. You want to make sure you or whenever put the links up and everything, so for those who are not following already, they have easy access to start getting that information and updates with what you have.
Certainly.
And if there's anything that you want to lead them to do when they get on, give them the information for anyone.
So I'm going to definitely direct them to my YouTube page, because there is years and years of material over there. But you can look at some of the more recent stuff that we've done and just get involved and learn slowly or learn quickly. But however you learn, I will be trying to get with somebody, even if it's not me, and learn.
Yes. Shout out to Don again, Don Johnson. This is phenomenal. All unaccountable. I'm sorry?
I said Don can teach you.
Yeah, no, this is phenomenal. Investment statement. First off, having plans and foundations and something that you're using, even like for those who are understanding, we spoke about having things like a vision board or concepts, checklists, things that you have like, or this is a concept of organizing and planning. But when we talk about investment, this is phenomenal, Don Johnson. Shout out to you. Investment statement. Here you go. All unaccounted for money. 50% invest. 25% blow. Make it rain. Same concept, whatever that means for you. 25% save for future investments. This is exact. I love that concept. And especially, of course, everybody tweak things the way that they could tweak it. But for a beginning concept, and especially for the youth out there, how to start, this is a way to start viewing things. A lot of youth are interested in their own apps and things of that nature and investing. You get a weekly or monthly allowance. This is a thing that you can start doing, literally. Change the dynamics of things before you get into high school, while you're in high school, before you start getting into your career and everything. Use this with any little thing you have right now. A lot of people, students, they're using things with Cash App, and they're having those different accounts, and they're using all these different. They're using all these different things with different accounts. But I think that's a beautiful strategy. Shout out to Don. Rainy. Yep. Now that makes sense. To keep 20% because I was throwing 100% somewhere because it's not in my budget. Oh, powerful. Right. Yes. And everybody, once again, that I love that Rainy just said this. Like, your budget is everything is just generalized statements. This is something to just have a channel and to voice ideas, concepts, questions, and just to get some updated information. This is just Sundays, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern every Sunday. But Quantum Capitalist, you got all this information here. Let me start putting some of this up. But the concept of your budget and doing things that are right for you and what makes sense for you, especially in time and me, is everything. That's the main thing. Even if this is all just to start building up, right now you can't invest anything at all. You can't invest a single cent. Just build up your knowledge and resources. You don't want to wait, like Quantum Capitalist is saying, you don't want to wait till the last minute for certain things, especially in this age that we're shifting into, we're already into right now. But at this platform, but regardless of when you start, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be something there. There's only going to be some startup that's eventually going to be the next whatever. So shout out to that. Let's put up these community.getthegc.com.
QC. Like the Quantum Capitalist. Yep, it's okay.
Gettheqc.com. Oh yeah, I should have picked that up. Thank you. Community.gettheqc.com. Shout out to you. And then we got the this is a Facebook group. Shout out to this. And you got the YouTube channel. All right, everything's up there for everybody. That's good. All right, so let me read this now. Let me put this up. Since next up, go ahead. I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No, I can't. I'm not looking right now, but does anybody have any specific questions about anything for me or for MME about investing or any particular investment instrument, cryptocurrency, the stock market, a particular company?
Yes, and what I'm going to do right now, I put it up already in the beginning, but anybody can join on. I'm going to read a few things before we have our end of discussions. And I want to end off, there's something that Sigma sent a week or two ago, and we never got a chance to read it. So I'm gonna read a few of the pieces of it. It's called a crypto guide. So we'll read the first parts of this crypto guide that for those who are beginners or are not aware of cryptocurrency, just a few pointers. But like I said, this is big on the news. I'm gonna read this. Also, everything going on with China and different discussions, Shiba. So I'm gonna read those two today. And of course, questions, like we said, you can ask. And anytime, Quantum Capitalist, you want to stop me or add anything, you can do that.
Okay.
Ripple XRP. Unlike other general purpose tokens, XRP is focused on creating payment solutions for banks and financial institutions. It solves several problems with competing systems like SWIFT for international settlements. Instead of requiring several hours or days for transfers to be finalized, XRP allows such settlements to be completed in a matter of seconds. That's big time. Ripple has emotional finance much more accessible for users through the efficient application of blockchain technology. Pros of Ripple: much faster than its competitors like SWIFT. That makes sense. Expand the banking and international settlement by lowering barriers to use. Understand why this is a big deal. Cons of Ripple: The network is highly centralized as all transactions are confirmed by a federated group of financial institutions. Ripple Labs is engaged in a legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. So this was something at the end of 24. That was a report of the top 10 stocks to invest in. The top 10 cryptocurrency stocks to invest in leading into 2025. And with things that we spoke about, and we're going to be talking more about these different regulations and shifts that are happening, especially with how cryptos are getting up and things with XRP. I think this is something to continue to look into. Long-term thoughts on Palantir. All right. So what is that? You could tell me, or maybe you can answer that, Quantum Capitalist.
What was the question?
Long-time thoughts on Palantir. I'm not sure. This is the first time I've ever read
Palantir. Okay.
Palantir?
Who asked that? Somebody in the chat asked that question?
Yeah, Don Johnson.
Okay, Don, you trying to take it there, huh?
Let's take it there. I want to know. I'm very interested. Don asked me.
And so somebody reminded me, because I stick and move, I guess. But somebody reminded me that years ago, I told them to buy Palantir. And so they bought in, I don't know, say 5 years ago, or around the time that they first IPO. But what has happened since then, and Don, this will probably register with you immediately, is the government has become dependent on them for certain services. And so that almost alone, and this is probably my bias, tells me everything I need to know about Palantir, almost. Trump is kind of a wild card because he might cut, funding or something that will impact them. So then that brings up the other question. Okay, what does their commercial customer base look like? And so they good on all levels. But when I think about government contractors, I think about Boeing. Ain't no way in the world people should still be flying Boeing, in my opinion. But the share price is consistent. The dividend is consistent. And I believe that that's because they're getting hundreds of million and billion-dollar contracts. And they're not going to stop. It's like once you locked in with the government, you are, because you have all their secrets, and they're not just going to be switching companies every 3 months.
Okay.
So that's fine.
I'm going to pull something up right now with that great question. Let me try to find it.
What's another one that? I'm gonna go ahead and Dom. What do you think about, or what do you know about Lunar? LUNR.
LUNR. Oh, good. This is so. And while Don, you definitely did from the old Zoom calls. So yeah, while Don answers that question, so let me just make sure I could get Palantir again. So Palantir, and let me read it actually. I was trying to pull it up, but I'll just read it. Palantir Technologies Incorporated is an American publicly traded that specializes in software platforms for big data analytics. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, it was founded by Peter Thiel, Stephen Cohen, John Lunsdale, Alex Karp in 2003. Okay, let's see what's going on. So, okay, I see it started off with a high boom. And then, let me see, let's go on the year. Oh, yeah.
So,
in the last 5 years, it rose. I'm sorry, guys, I'm listening.
I think about investing in a very practical way, right? So they just said that they handle big data. First thing that comes to my mind is, well, whose data is bigger than the corporation who's getting the data that everybody else is collecting? So if Google has all of the information that Google has, and when you think about it, Google knows you better than your spouse. So the government is getting Google's information. If they want to, they can subpoena Apple and get the information that Apple has. Who's got bigger data than the government? And so now they are managing piece by piece all of the data that the government is collecting. You can't just walk out of that relationship. And so they will be on government welfare for the next 1,000 years.
Understood.
Unless
Understood.
unless some of the doomsday theories come through about this company, as long as we exist the way that we do,
Yes.
they will be the benefactor of those contracts.
Understood. Understood. I see long term how the rise. I was just looking at the stock. It's phenomenal for Palantir. So it looks long term that's a I see a little dip that just happened. I think that's something that you mentioned too with the news from recently going on.
Yeah, if
But
you looked at 50 different charts of 50 different companies, they would all have that dip.
yeah.
And it's probably something that Donald Trump said or something that Jerome Powell said. And it's also just a part of a cycle
You're right.
that like it can't just go straight up forever. They've got to have some start overs. Like, all right, hold on, we got up too high. Let's start over.
Right.
But it has never gone to zero.
Right.
So, but you said an important thing that you probably didn't realize is important. You said that's great for Palantir. And what I'm telling you is, as a shareholder, that's great for you. And it's even better for you than it is for Palantir, because Palantir don't need the money, but we do. And so if I know everything that I now know about Palantir, and I know that I could just go Google it, and it makes sense to me that, oh, they're going to be managing all of the data that our government is collecting on us, the CIA and the DEA and all of those people. That relationship is going to last as long as the government lasts. And as long as the government lasts, they're going to keep the company open.
Yeah. That's why it's exactly. That's what the second you can tie yourself. I mean, for lack of better concepts, that's one of the biggest things about like power with organized, like the black market in the situations. The closer you can get to the highest power, you have the most control and authority.
Let me ask you another question. Who owns Palantir?
It was founded. Well, that's who founded. So these are the four right here. The subsidiaries, Palantir. So in France, okay. So the headquarters is Denver, founded by Peter Thiel, Stephen Cohen, Joe Lonsdale, and Alex Carr.
Okay. Now, who owns Palantir?
The people. I mean, if the stock.
The shareholders.
Yeah. Who own it? The people own the shares, right?
So you can own some of Palantir for what is it, like $100?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right now, yeah, one share. Oh, yeah, good. You was right on point. 101.39.
Yeah.
Right on point.
So the shareholders own the company, and they every great idea that Peter Thiel and them come up with, you get to benefit from it. This is what Don was saying, really. Every great idea that those four guys come up with, you benefit from it as a shareholder. Every time that share price jumps $100, they get their salaries, but you benefit as a shareholder.
Right, definitely. That's how it goes, exactly. All right, and Shiba Inu. So let me read this now. Inspired by Doge, Shiba is another meme token with a dog face as a mascot. Pros of Shiba. Valuable meme crypto brand. Shiba Inu has leveraged meme-friendly branding, similar to Dogecoin, to stand out in a crowded crypto market, gaining significant social media traction. Yes, one of the reasons why so heavily discussed by the youth. Shiba Swap. The creation of Shiba Swap by Shiba Inu. Developers aims to enhance community engagement and brand building within the Shiba ecosystem. Potential for Robinhood trading. Shiba Inu's potential inclusion on platforms like Robinhood presents an opportunity for increased accessibility and trading value. All right, so the cons would be extreme volatility. The rapid price fluctuations of Shiba Inu pose risks for investors, with the average holding period being just 13 days, indicating high volatility and potential for significant losses. Lack of real-world utility. Can understand that. Shiba Inu has limited real-world utility, is accepted by only a few dozen vendors globally, and lacks distinctive features to set it apart the competitive crypto landscape. So, yes, that is a very interesting read right there compared to everything else we read. But do what you want with that information. What I want to do right now before we end off everything is I want to read something that Sigma sent us with this crypto guide. Oh, let me make sure I have what you wrote here. They're the only ones taking NASA satellites and payloads to the moon, lunar. Oh, okay, right. Shout out to that. You mentioned earlier. Something to research. Always room for improvement and to learn. All right. So let me read this first section that Sigma sent. Shout out to Sigma. Crypto Guide Part 1. What is cryptocurrency? All this time we spoke about this. Did we define this yet? This is interesting.
I don't think so. But
yeah, I know
I'm not
that's
the crypto person though. Okay.
No, that was exactly. I'm glad he wrote this out. I didn't read this my first time reading this. What is cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that uses cryptography for security. It operates independently on a central authority, making transactions more secure and transparent. Okay, next part of this. The first cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, created by an anonymous person or group known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Oh, somebody research what that name translates to. I remember that. That was a different rabbit hole. But anyway, Satoshi Nakamoto in 2009 is the first and most well-known cryptocurrency. Introduced the concept of decentralized digital money. Interessante. How does cryptocurrency work? Cryptocurrencies use blockchain technology, a distributed ledger that records all transactions across a network of computers. This ensures transparency and security. Interessante. All right, last two. Key terms to know. Wallet, a digital tool to store and manage cryptocurrencies. Exchange, a platform to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies. Private key, a secret code that allows you to access and manage your crypto. Shout out to this. 5, last one. Benefits of cryptocurrencies. Decentralization. No central authority controls it. Security, advanced crypto. Shout out to Sigmash and shout out to Crypto After Dark. That was some words of advice from Sigmash. He laid that out. Shout out to Sigmash, his loved ones, everything that's going on, taking care of priorities. But Lunar is the thing that's on my mind to look. Have something for Lunar and for Palantir. I just got some images, but I'm gonna have to prepare for that next time. But any final questions, comments, concerns for anybody? And Quantum Capitalist, any final words?
I would just say that if you are interested in knowing what I'm talking about or how it is you might go about from getting from 0 to 60 and investing in some smart stock investments, use the link community.gettheqc.com. Find the free stock investing class. You will find a free stock options trading class there. And I don't care if once you get the free stuff, you just become interested and you go spend money with somebody else to learn more, as long as you invest. And so that is one avenue that you can start to get your feet wet for free.
Nice. Definitely. Shout out to that. Shout out to all these different things. Make sure you guys, continue on. Whether you seeing this live or when the clips get chopped up, do your thing, enjoy that, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Bring up any, we'll be here every Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to Quantum Capitalist holding it down. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Rainey, Don Johnson, everybody. Shout out to all you guys. She Cooks, She Roast. Shout out to everybody. And Mark David, and make sure I catch everybody. Yes. So until next time, take care, everybody. All up forever. Appreciate you guys. Invest with us.